Hello everyone, and welcome back to Football Nostalgia, the podcast where we explore the teams and the players that have shaped the game we love. I'm Alex Ashmore, we're back with another episode. It's been a while, feels like a while, both in the podcast world and the real world.
Yeah, we've got a...
It's hard to keep track of which one's which at the
I
moment.
suppose we've got to issue an apology, I suppose.
Yes, we were meant to release an episode. We are now recording on the 8th of May. We were meant to, which is a Wednesday, we were meant to release an episode on the Sunday, which was the 5th, I think. Yeah. Had a few technical issues.
What's happening now?
Sar's laptop officially is toast.
What's happening now has happened.
It has happened.
We filmed this once, but it was arguably a very controversial episode, and I'm not sure we'll come to the same conclusion.
Think about the guy on the airplane.
Jose. Jose?
But yeah, I think I cursed us. I think I said in our last record that we don't miss an episode. We did unfortunately miss an episode.
Yeah, but it was quite literally not our fault.
Yeah,
like you were uploading the episode and your computer just crashed.
She couldn't handle all the episodes, all the footage, all the storage. It was coming off of an external hard drive, and I think everything just sort of went crash.
And you could throw in some cool sound effects.
Don't put pressure on me right now to make cool edits.
Teething problems, but you lucky listeners and viewers get a double episode
this Sunday. Well,
wow.
Sunday today, which for you listeners.
You've got a double episode today. How lucky.
It's Sunday today for you guys, but it's Wednesday for us, and I can't tell you if Real Madrid win tonight. So,
fingers crossed they do.
How are you guys getting on? You doing well?
Yeah, I had a nice little week away from you guys.
Ouch.
Not you.
You said the exact same thing.
Well, mine's different.
Yeah, mine was surrounded by
he doesn't get bullied.
It's just irritating.
Yeah.
Bullied.
Oh.
I get
It's
incessantly
a form
bullied.
of affection in Britishisms.
Well, it's too much affection.
The Britishisms, like they just expect everyone to know all their Britishisms, and there's a million of them.
I think it's just an excuse to
Guillaume
be rude.
Balaguer said a similar. When we spoke to Guillaume Balaguer, he said a similar thing about Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
That British people just sort of think that their jokes are sort of received well by everyone.
Look at us just dropping in that we met Guillaume Balaguer.
Ever heard of him?
Talking about
friend of the pod.
Carragher,
Friend of the pod.
Yeah, GFOP, good friend of the pod.
Keep your eyes peeled. He may be in an interview sometime in the sphere of the future.
Sometime in the sphere of the future.
Our busy schedules.
Yes. Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Doing well?
I'm back
You're
with you three.
Back from the States.
So.
Lucky you.
We had a little break from class, and no, you went back to the UK. Casey and I stayed in Spain.
Yeah.
You went back to the States. Sarah, did you go away somewhere in Spain, or did you just stay in Madrid?
Stayed mostly in Madrid, yeah.
Okay.
I obviously I'm wearing a Real Madrid jersey at the minute that we got to mention.
Why are you wearing a Real Madrid
jersey?
You don't have to mention.
You're not
I knew he was going to find out.
I had to weasel this in, so I
you're
played
not
football
a full
for.
kit banker, are you?
No, I'm not. I had to play football for. Well, I didn't have to, but I played football for Real Madrid TV today.
Like the intramural team.
Yeah. But Real Madrid TV, we were playing. I don't know actually, La Liga TV or something. Scored a brace. We were 2-1 up. We lost in the end, but I can now officially say I've scored a goal for Real Madrid.
So you know
you
your
can.
own.
No, you can't. No,
I
you
can.
cannot.
I can.
You can say you scored a goal for Real Madrid TV.
Are we changing the right back then? It's no longer Danny Carvajal. It's Noah Zemmel.
Exactly. Get me in there.
Or should be
So we
left
talk
back,
about
actually,
anything
sorry.
else. Alex, how was your break?
It was good. Yeah, well, it wasn't really a break. I was working. Got up to a few exciting things last week. If you've seen on my Instagram,
of course.
Yeah.
You met Jude Bellingham.
Oh, yeah. That.
Yeah. That's just shown what a weird year this has been.
Yeah.
That's like, I forgot that happened.
Yeah. Well, actually, that wasn't last week. That was the week before last. But I couldn't upload anything for a week because the interview wasn't out for another week.
See on our Instagram,
Yes.
Football Nostalgia Pod on Instagram, photo sort of collaboration thing of everyone cool that we've met. Sarah's met 2 people.
Which
You
originally
guys
Noah tried to stop that from happening and just put 3 of him with
did
Jude
accidentally
Bellingham.
That was
post 3 of
rude.
me and Jude Bellingham.
I was going to say, you've met Jude Bellingham. I've met Kamavinga, and you've met Jude Bellingham 3 times.
According to the post, I
And you
posted
managed to
3 times.
recreate the photo.
I was like, I know you
exactly
don't
the
like
same.
me, but you didn't have to do it that personally.
Oh, I love you, Sarah. Come on, don't be silly.
I
Is
don't
that?
need to say that.
We'll record that and
Yeah,
lock
that's
that
gonna
in a
get
box,
clipped
that
out.
audio.
Every time you're rude to me, I just have to replay that.
Get it as a soundbite on you.
That and Alex sending me that he misses me.
Oh God.
I did not say that.
But yes.
So yeah, it's been a big week of sport, just not in our worlds, but in general. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund beat Paris Saint-Germain. Real Madrid won La Liga. They beat Cadiz last weekend, and Barcelona lost 4-2 to Girona, meaning the title was confirmed.
I will
36.
I'll be pitch side for the trophy presentation, doing some
Alaves.
camera work against Alaves. And
Casey, you'll be there for the final day against Betis. Actually, Casey and Sarri, you'll both be pitch side for
Check out some more vlogs incoming. Speaking of vlogs,
check out Bayern Munich press conference vlog.
Speaking of vlogs, we'll have posted this week. You'll have seen Bayern Munich press conference vlog. If you see our ad, another ad is going out. So if you see that, please like, share, comment. Yeah, same cool like.
Get on YouTube.
YouTube. We're so close to going over 100 views on some of our
Could you imagine 100 views?
For us would be very, very big and would mean a lot to us. So please.
And if the girlies could interact and comment.
Yeah.
Especially on my post where I talk about how attractive Jude is. That'd be nice. Thanks.
We've done it again.
There we go.
I'm just saying.
But yeah,
I'm
please.
not wrong.
No, he's a good-looking fella. He's a good-looking fella. And he's a lovely bloke as well, as me and Alex can attest to.
Yes, he is very nice.
Flex.
He said, Corda, I thought I was tall. When he met me, he's 6'1", I'm 6'9".
Yeah, look, go on the Instagram. If you don't understand how tall,
you'll be
outshot.
Can you try and stand up?
Wait, I want to see this on the camera angle.
This is going to
big reveal.
Whoa!
Big reveal. Let's get this chair out of
Look, that's insane.
He's still hunching, yeah.
Still in frame.
Barely. The tip of your head's off.
Should we all stand up?
No. I don't think you need that ego boost today.
No, we don't need that. But please go on our social media. If you see our ad, comment, like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. Please, please. And we've got some special episodes and some cool stuff coming up as well. So we hope you enjoy it, and please tell us if you do. And if you don't, tell us as well, because that'll help us too.
Sorry if you were just listening on headphones there and you heard all that racket of me getting up.
Yeah, honestly.
If you're just listening,
he nearly tipped the whole studio over. But
without further ado, let's get into it. For a second time for us, but first time for you, the best Real Madrid right wing of all time. I won the last episode.
To make it 3-3.
3-2.
3-3.
3-2-3.
Oh,
3-3-2.
Oh God!
That might have just. Should we?
No.
I feel like
who won the episode.
No. Yeah, so we have recorded this episode, and we did come to a conclusion.
That I strongly disagree with.
Well, I guess
there's a clue. Noah didn't win. It was between me and Casey,
today.
And I think today I'm going to win.
We'll see.
So
I'm just not going to give up.
I'm going to present my choice, and I've gone for a certain Welshman, Gareth Bale. 258 appearances for Real Madrid, 106 goals, 67 assists. He won 5 Champions Leagues, 3 Club World Cups, 3 La Ligas, 3 UEFA Super Cups, 1 Copa del Rey, 1 Spanish Super Cup, which is 16 trophies in total. He was the top goal scorer at the Club World Cup twice, scored in every game he played at the Club World Cup, which has only been done, I believe, by Messi and Ronaldo. So joined Real in 2013 for a world record fee of 81.5 million, world record at the time.
That was such a sad day.
Well, yes.
I remember very well the day he left.
Part of that famous Bale, Benzema, Cristiano threesome, nicknamed the Cannon.
Trio.
See, I tried to not say BBC, and I said threesome instead.
You could have said BBC.
And you're now doubling down. You decided to say both.
All right.
Come on.
Let's move on.
Nicknamed the Cannon for his powerful shot. And, well, just a few, I think, moments. His goal against Barca in the 2014 Copa del Rey final, where he ran around Marc Bartra, ran off the pitch, and in very nonchalant fashion said, when he was asked about why he did that, he said, well, I had to, otherwise I wouldn't have got round him, which is very like, well, I guess I'm going to have to run round Marc Bartra now, which, you know, Marc Bartra's no
slouch.
He's not a slow player. He's got some legs on him. So, yeah, he's the first Welshman to score in a Champions League final. He is the highest scoring Brit in La Liga history for now. He had that goal against that team in 2018.
Oh, which team?
One of the greatest goals in Champions League history. It was 2018, Kyiv. Oh, who was it against, Sarah?
Yeah,
We lost this
you'll have to
footage
let
the
us
last
know.
time.
Come on, close to the mic so they can really
come
hear
on,
you.
The red
Come
team,
on.
right?
It's when you're doing
Yeah.
a presentation in year 3 and it's like, come on, speak up.
Come on, speak up.
It was
That's appealing to the
against.
teacher in her.
Hey, it was against Liverpool.
Yes, so he scored that goal, the overhead kick.
Possibly the greatest goal in a Champions League final.
Yes, he's the first substitute to score 2 in a Champions League final, which is quite impressive. Extremely impressive. He was in the UEFA Team of the Year twice, the Champions League Squad of the Season in 2015-16, and obviously, as I mentioned, won the Club World Cup Golden Ball 2018. And just generally, you think of Gareth Bale, you obviously think of his time at Real Madrid. Obviously, he was at Tottenham and then went on to LAFC in the MLS. Southampton Youth Academy product. So, yeah. And Cardiff, I believe he played for at some point, I think. So, yeah. Fantastic player. Pacey, brilliant shot on him. Tricky, skillful. A marvellous player. I think one of the best British players there's ever been.
So I was actually having this conversation in the week with my dad about Gareth Bale.
Who's also a lifelong Spurs fan.
Yeah, obviously. And we were arguing over whether Gareth Bale is the greatest, not just footballer, British sportsman of all time. I
don't know about sportsman.
It's a tough debate. I think Lewis Hamilton's got a claim, but I mean,
Is Rory McIlroy in that conversation?
Win the Masters.
Yeah, if he wins the Masters,
He's won
maybe.
everything else, literally.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think Lewis Hamilton still pips Rory McIlroy.
Lewis Hamilton for me.
Yeah,
That's you don't like
but
golf.
essentially, in terms of football, I still think he is at the pinnacle. For me, the only person I think that tops him is Wayne Rooney. But Gareth Bale has had a phenomenal career and one that doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, more goals than Zidane had for Real, and it doesn't get talked about because, and which might work against him today, that media furore.
I mean, actually, I'd scratch that. Sorry, I don't think he's the best British football player of all time because obviously you've got Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard, who I think generally Paul Scholes, as you said, Wayne Rooney. I think there are players that probably are held in higher regard than Gareth
Held in
Bale.
higher regard doesn't mean they're necessarily better than
True. But I do think he's
if you want to argue for held in high regard has to get is
true.
best, then
So
Are you arguing for Gareth Bale? Because it's
I
not what it
think-
sounds
I
like.
was also going to say all these things about him being the best British athlete have nothing to do with what he did at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So if we could,
well,
But
it
it-
kind of
but
does.
it
He was
does.
British when he was at Real Madrid. Well, he still is,
he's always been British.
to my knowledge.
but like Real Madrid fans, like
That is the problem.
I think
with
he's
him.
the best British player to ever play for Real Madrid.
that is relevant.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
He, obviously you've got some cracking players in there. We've had 6 English players. British, we've had 7. I think 8.
If you include Caroline Weir.
Yes. So Laurie Cunningham, Michael Owen, Jude Bellingham, David Beckham,
Jonathan Woodgate.
Gareth Bale, Caroline Weir. I think it is 7.
I know you say
Yeah, 7.
7.
So I think out of those, he is the best to ever play for Real Madrid.
We'll see how Jude Bellingham.
Obviously, Jude Bellingham
Gets
might
on.
have something to say about that.
I have the second bet. Never mind, actually.
So yeah, I think a fantastic player, and I think, like Noah said, not really held in a higher regard as he should be because of how much criticism and hate, unnecessary and unwarranted hate, he received from the media in Spain. He was fantastic for Madrid, scored really important goals for them, won loads of trophies, and I just think when you're at Real Madrid, we talked about this a while ago, that you have to, and I think even Gareth Bale himself said this to Jude Bellingham as a piece of advice, you have to
Play the game.
You have to play the Real Madrid game. You have to, do the interviews. You have to
say you love the food, this weather.
Yeah.
But
So obviously
you gotta
Gareth Bale didn't really learn a lot of Spanish. I think he picked it up.
He spoke good Spanish. It
Yeah.
was just unfortunate press at unfortunate times that made it seem like he
didn't
couldn't.
want to speak
But we've had
in front of the press, basically.
but we've also had slightly an off-pod debate about are we going for the best player,
right,
or what it means, like the grandeza and like the best player at Real Madrid.
I think it's
like
a
his
combination
legacy.
of both.
I think it's
like
take it all
that's
into
all got to be
account.
into account.
Yeah.
Which leads me,
just one thing.
One thing.
Can you put the scarf around your neck?
I can put the scarf around my neck.
Why?
It's
He's just sitting
currently
there.
about 27 degrees in
I was
Madrid
gonna say,
outside,
like,
and
I'm
we're in a
in-
studio.
I'm trying to sweat him out.
Yeah, you really are. But yeah, like I was saying, so if it's about the sort of importance of this player and their legacy as well, then I think my shout has a very, very, very good chance of making it in this team.
Reason for you bringing that up.
I thought that was a good segue.
Smooth
Thanks very
transition,
much. Because mine was the honorary president of Real Madrid. He is so symbolic of the club until his unfortunate passing in 2022, and mine is Amancio. Now, this isn't a name that loads of people will know. It's not one that I was massively familiar with before my year here, but obviously doing research for this episode and learning stuff from journalists and stuff like that. Marcos Lopez, I know, is a massive fan of him, was one of the main people in his team. El Brujo, which is the Wizard, which is a brilliant nickname, won 9 La Ligas, 1 Champions League, 3 Spanish Super Cups, was third place in the Ballon d'Or in 1964. He joined from Deportivo La Coruña for a ridiculous fee at the time, 12 million pesetas, which is, I've got the figure, because I know you'll want the... nowadays the figure from now, and that's 3.5 million euros in today's money, which in
And what was the year again?
1964,
Calculate inflation.
1963, 1964.
That was so. Yeah, in today's money.
That is inflation. Inflation counted would be 3.5
Oh,
million
that's what it
euros.
would be worth today.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still in 1963 a ridiculous amount of money, so much so that it nearly squandered the deal, and it only went through because Santiago Bernabéu, the president at the time, insisted that Amancio be signed. They were in a period of transition. That golden Di Stefano team and stuff were coming to the end of their sort of their tenure, and Amancio took over, helping to lead the club. They were in a transition year. They lost the 63-64 season Champions League final to Inter. But in 1966, he won the Champions League with Real Madrid at the second time of asking, scoring a wonder goal to level the game. It was an unbelievable dummy, and then he smashes the ball past the keeper. It's a really, really impressive goal, and completely turned the tie and meant that Real Madrid won their 6th Champions League. He won 6 La Ligas in his first 6 years at the club. Bear in mind, this is a completely sort of new transition team against a really strong Barcelona team. He then went on to win another 3. I don't think anyone that we're talking today will have 9 La Ligas, because even though Real Madrid have just won their 36th, they haven't won it. They don't win it all the time. It's very competitive whereas Real Madrid are so far ahead of Barcelona in terms of Champions Leagues. It's very, very divided year on year in La Liga. So to win 9 in your single career is very, very impressive. He won back-to-back Pichichis, 69-70, which is obviously the Golden Boot. He scored 144 goals in 431 appearances for Real, which is phenomenal. 21 Champions League goals in 52 games. 6 assists, 5 assists.
How many assists?
6 assists in overall.
Just for those in the back.
6 assists overall, 5 in Champions League. He
1 La Liga assist.
never got an assist in La Liga, actually. He was in the
Selfish.
Copa del Rey.
Who was that against?
I don't know, but he was an unbelievably good dribbler. The assist stats don't do him favour there, obviously, but he was an unbelievably good dribbler, lightning quick. I would argue a better dribbler from what I've seen than both Bale and who I'm sure we'll come on to. Yeah, and they're just going to try to spoil the whole episode.
Alex did last time, and I had to bleep it in there.
This is in the 60s, and he was chipping keepers, volleying, nutmegs, dancing past people. He was genuinely unstoppable. And then outside of his playing career, and part of the reason he became honorary president, led Castilla to a second division title, and that makes him the only manager and the only B team to ever do this. They didn't obviously go up because you can't have Castilla and Real Madrid in the same league. And I know Yeah, like we said, we filmed this before.
I was going to say, you've really stepped up your argument since last time.
I'm like, can I get a minute?
I was going to say, this is impressive.
But because I feel I was overlooked because we slightly judged, and Stefano nearly didn't make the team because we said that it's not competing against the same sort of era. But Amancio is such a phenomenal player, and is one of those players that has almost carved out the right-wing role as we know it now. Is so synonymous with Real Madrid, and El Brujo, the wizard, for me, definitely deserves his spot in the team.
Okay. My turn now?
If you want to. I was just going to say, I looked him up. He was a looker back in the day.
Okay.
There we go. Come on. Exactly. Come on.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, we couldn't put Jude in the team.
You want to talk about a looker?
If we're going on best looker, I think Gareth Bale's got to win.
No.
I think.
I don't know if you've ever heard of one Luis Figo.
No,
quite a handsome man.
He was.
Quite
he
a
also
handsome
is
man.
but look at this guy.
Gareth Bale's better looking.
It's why I chose him. It's why I chose him.
Given like Spanish James Dean vibes.
Okay, so
that was such a pity laugh.
That was kind of funny.
Okay, no, sorry.
We're done,
Casey's
yeah,
turn now.
sorry. Go on.
Go on.
So, my player Luis Figo. I was gonna kind of setting up this. I got sidetracked by how handsome he was, and I wanted to shout his name. I was gonna say I'm gonna bring to the table a player who I can say has a better legacy at the club and is marginally a better player than Gareth Bale and is a much better player than Amancio. And maybe doesn't have the same legacy, but Luis Figo was the best player in the world, which none of you guys can say. But let's just go through it. 245 games, 57 goals, 93 assists. Okay, so on the same level as Bale in terms of goal contributions, I believe, if you add them both up. He's got 2 La Ligas, 2 Spanish Super Cups, a Champions League.
How many Champions Leagues, sorry?
He's got 1. There was a lot of formidable teams back then. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yeah, to be fair, winning it when Bale's there was easy.
Yeah, well, playing with the best player in the world.
I'm only yanking you, Jay. Carry on.
Anyways, we had a UEFA Super Cup, 2 Intercontinental Cups, and like I said, he was the best player in the world, which means he won the Ballon d'Or, which, again, their guys have not won that. He was named into Marca's best 4 and 11 of all time.
Can we get like some sort of graphic for that? Like an alarm's just gone off in case.
Stop making me edit more. You guys say these things.
He was in the same year the UEFA Men's Player of the Year. Pele named him in 2001 in the list of 100 best living players. Or sorry, that was in 2004.
What does Pele know?
Yeah. Who? No. I mean, Noah does this thing when he's describing his players where he's just like, he was unbelievable. He was so. It's like, yeah, my guy, quick, elegant, so skilled on the ball. It's like, yeah, I can say all that stuff too, and it's really true for all 3 of our cases. Like Bale's left foot could be in a museum.
Yeah.
As could Figo's right foot. I think all these things are true. He could drop crosses on a dime. He could set up his teammates. He could score a solo goal. He can participate in a big team build-up. He could do it all. He obviously was part of the biggest transfer saga in footballing history.
Yeah. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
So in 2000, he came to Real Madrid from Barcelona. His transfer was synonymous with the election of Florentino Perez as president of Real Madrid, and Perez paid his what do they call it, release clause at Barcelona and brought him in, and is now, much to the delight of the Real Madrid fans, the most hated man in Barcelona.
Yes, very much so.
That's another part of his legacy. Which
the Figo affair on
Netflix. Free marketing. Go ahead and watch that.
Yeah.
Super good.
Hashtag not an ad.
Yeah. No, but
just in case you thought it was.
So he came to Real Madrid. He spent 5 seasons. He was starter every game. He was, one of the most exciting players to watch in the team. He, like I said, he can play out in all these different styles of play, and he won a Ballon d'Or, which I think is kind of my nail in the coffin.
I love that you're staring me dead in the eyes.
Because I know who's. We're each gonna back our own guy.
I will say, both of you have stepped it up dramatically.
Well, that's
Alex,
because
but you
after
weren't as passionate as you were last time.
Well, no, it was just my opening statement.
Oh, he's ready. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say after the last time, we it was between Bale and Figo, and goals and assists they're on the same kind of.
Well, Bale's a little more.
A little bit, but like marginally,
Like 20.
20, yeah,
23
okay.
specifically. But.
Yeah. Pretty marginal across like
4 more Champions Leagues.
4 more Champions Leagues. How many less Ballon d'Ors? 1. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, Alex, go ahead. I mean, I think it's
Ballon d'Or though. The thing with the Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
Mr. Super Ballon d'Or.
He's not won a
wants to talk
Super
about
Ballon
it.
d'Or.
Yeah,
guys.
wait, can we
Just
have
11
the quote?
Stefanos.
Can we have the quote with the guy on the
How
plane?
many times do you want me to edit this stupid episode?
What did the guy on the plane say about the Super Ballon d'Or?
matey boy
Oh,
that
what
sat on the plane
Sarah,
next to me.
Sarah met someone.
He said, "What intelligent footballer or football fan
Fan.
gives a about
Yeah,
what a
something
Super
along
Ballon
those-
d'Or?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
and
put the message on
And do you
the
know what?
screen.
And do you know what? I understand that point, but I needed something to get me over the line in that episode, so I was harping on
He
that.
was really not a fan of you because I was telling him all the
He was
arguments.
talking absolute nonsense though. Some of the picks in his team were just ridiculous. So
Hey, don't insult my
he
bestie
might have been
Jose
he
like
might
that.
have been a nice man, but he was talking nonsense.
No, he's a lifelong Madridista.
How long did you meet him for?
Bobby
12
Charlton.
hours.
I mean, not to go back. Bobby Charlton, possibly the greatest English British player of all time, put Di Stefano in his best team ever as the captain in central midfield. Said he was unlike anyone else I've ever seen play football.
Yeah, but Luka Modric is better.
All right.
Sorry, wrong.
Wrong thing. He should be in over Zidane, but maybe we'll come back to that.
So, Alex, you guys were talking for a long time about Bale being the whatever best British player. I was gonna say
You can't really
he's
go
the,
into best.
he's the second best
Second
Portuguese
best, yeah.
player. to
Who's he
ever play.
behind? Eusebio?
The guy who's going
third best then.
No, I mean I think he's second personally, but
Yeah, but
no, he's behind. Who's going to win left wing? Hopefully, it's me.
Whoa, don't
to
spoil
be
it.
Whoa.
don't spoil. Yeah,
That's
to
Ooh,
be
you have to bleep that out.
to
I will.
be hypocritical.
Yeah,
Oh,
great, perfect.
As always.
To be hypocritical, with the Ballon d'Or, you said that definitely makes him the best player in the world. But there have been times when the
Yes.
best player in the world didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Right now, and this is going to get glare, but the best player in the world is Harry Kane. He was not going to win the Ballon d'Or.
This year,
Yeah.
if they win the Champions League and Euro and England does well at the Euros, he will win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
maybe.
you're talking about something that hasn't happened
Okay,
yet
fine.
as a way to
Frank
also,
Ribery didn't win the Ballon d'Or, was the best player in the world that year. Thierry Henry never won a Ballon d'Or.
Erling Haaland.
Okay, how about this? He also won
Erling
in the same
Haaland
year.
last year. Erling Haaland was the best player in the world last year.
In the same year he won his Ballon d'Or, he won UEFA Men's Player of the Year. So back-to-back validation. Other people were in the running for both competitions.
I would also argue you say my player Gareth Bale hasn't won a Ballon d'Or, but he was competing against the 2 best players to ever play football. And if you don't win a
He
Ballon
was
d'Or,
never in the top 3.
But I'm saying
Stop looking at me when you make arguments.
I'm looking kind of at the camera,
No,
so
I'm saying
Oh,
you
they're
know,
right behind the
when you're
camera.
competing against 2 of the 2 best players to ever play football, hands down, and you're playing in a team with Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and you're still contributing like you are, it'd be very easy for him to take a third backseat role and maybe get a few more assists and not be too bothered about the goals. But he scored vital goals in really important games. He's won countless trophies, and I think the what's the word I'm looking for? The etch on his record, is that the right word?
Black
The sort
mark.
black mark on his record is the media criticism. But I think when you look at what he's achieved for the club and the player that he was and the performances that he had and the goals that he scored, I would put him up there as one of the most influential Real Madrid players of all time.
I wouldn't deny that he's a phenomenal player. I love Bale. I think all of his stats are insane, as are everyone who was on those teams. They've won everything. I always bring up Nacho as an example of another player who's won 5 Champions Leagues. So it's like
That is true.
it's hard to
That is
weight
true.
that.
But I would argue, to be fair,
about
you
to-
could say to
Potentially about
yourself,
to win 6.
Bale won one of those Champions Leagues all by himself. If it
Yes.
weren't for him,
I
he
think
scored 2.
Kelleher also had a big
Aman-
part to play.
So they-
Amancio won his Champions League by himself. He equalised the goal, turned the tide. I mean, it wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't
I
have won.
just
Bale
simply-
came on as a sub and
It
scored a
just
brace.
we simply cannot, for the sake of the fans, have Gareth Bale in this team.
We can. What? Why are you're saying that because of
Because
the
he
media criticism?
burned every bridge with the club,
But how can you expect him to behave in a reciprocal, in a
play the
polite
game.
manner when he's getting so much unnecessary criticism. He's getting, I don't know, but I imagine he got death threats. I imagine he got letters sent to his house. I imagine he got so much
stuff
online
is all
hate.
terrible, and I agree with you. And it's
The
really
Gulf Madrid.
That, to be fair, I implore anyone to not do that. I would probably do that if I was getting treated like that. I think
it's not great.
But it's, you're getting so much criticism. He's allowed to hit back.
I absolutely love Gareth Bale, and
yeah, he's allowed to hit back, and the repercussions are going to be that it's going to tarnish your legacy.
It doesn't change the player that he
No,
was, though.
But we're talking about.
But we were
all
saying
these
that
things
there has to
included.
be
But still,
some
even
level of
without
legacy.
that-
There has to be some level of legacy taken into it.
Even without that, he's
Yeah.
single-handedly the most, arguably, his performance in that Champions League where he scores is probably arguably one of the best performances in a Champions League final ever. It's the most influential performance in a Champions League final in a long time, potentially the most influential ever. To come off the bench and score a brace, not only one, but 2 goals in a Champions League final, it is just unheard of.
I mean, one of them was essentially an own goal, but
Still.
So, yeah, to play devil's advocate, the keeper was concussed, and also he was on the bench. Like, he came on and changed it, but as in...
he's not in Marco's best
But
11.
he's not in
he
Marcus.
came on the bench and he won the game.
Look, I don't like this because I don't like... I really don't like critiquing Gareth Bale because I think he is massively underrated, and I think he 100% deserves to be in the top 3, if not the top 2. But I think we have to take a little bit of the legacy into account. But the problem with this is I also think that mine is by far the person that should be in this team that embodies Real Madrid the most, is the best all-round footballer in terms of ability. And
I'd argue...
See, that's so subjective, and that's so like you.
Of course, it's subjective, but
you're not. You never watched this guy play.
But I've done a lot of research on and watched a lot of him to get my research for this and pick this out.
It feels like you and Alex are opposite in ways where like he's not taking into legacy at all, and you're taking too much of the legacy into account.
But as in, I'm also going off.
But I can still play the legacy
achieved.
card of
Yeah,
what my
no, I
guys
know.
achieved. 5 Champions Leagues is...
Nine La Ligas.
No, I'd argue 9 La Ligas is not as impressive as 5 Champions Leagues.
I would argue differently that for Real Madrid it kind of is.
I would say
No,
Ballon d'Or is really important too.
Look, none of it.
We're coming up on like 30-ish minutes.
Well
so
then,
just
well
start.
because I'm absolutely not going to change my mind.
Neither am I.
I mean, I think
Guys,
I'm never gonna say that Luis Figo has the grandeza that Amancio has. I will say he is miles ahead of Bale in that category, and he is on the same level as all 3 of these guys who were incredible football players. I think if you wanted to like pick a name out of a hat for who had the most talent, like we could argue either way. But like, if you include who, so
I think if you include both, you
I'm-
include the player on the pitch, the goals he scored, the influence he's had on
it
the
is
team,
Luis Figo.
the
Thank you very
trophies
much.
he's won, on and off the pitch, Gareth Bale is the best.
Off
out
the
of-
pitch, he's
out
just
of these
simply-
three, he's the best.
I'm
It's
honestly
simply-
so cautious.
it's simply
let
untrue that
him
he's the
finish.
best.
No, I
off the
think
field.
if
Let
you...
Alex finish.
I would say, look at the goals he scored, the performance he's had, the influence he's had in those games against...
Only one was the honorary president of Real Madrid.
Yeah, but
That's the.
But,
talk
like,
about,
none
talk
of
about
them just-
influence. Talk about influence.
You just said has the biggest influence off the field. That is simply outrageous to say. He has the
No,
least.
I'm saying his influence on the pitch is the best out of these 3, I think. I'm saying what he's won on the pitch, the goals he scored, the importance of those goals, the influence he's had on games, and in terms of the trophies he's won for the club is just far superior.
I think I'm just gonna
Than
have,
both.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's really true. I think that, the La Liga titles that he won, going up against these really really good Barcelona teams, obviously same with your case as well. But he was the first of the Galacticos to come over here. Obviously, he had a big part in kind of building the legacy of Real Madrid in the early 2000s and kind of handing that off into the next era that came. He obviously was a big part of the Champions League title they won, as he was the best player in the world that year. And yeah, I think the proof is in the pudding. He is the only player on this panel who can say he was the best player in the world.
For 1 year. This guy
And your guy was not even top 5 in any of the years he ever
I
played.
feel
This
very
guy,
guilty.
the time he was at Real Madrid, he was in the top 5, maybe 10 influential players in the world in terms of his performances on the pitch, the goals he scored.
And then he went and held that flag up and ruined it all.
The length he did it for, and winning 5 Champions Leagues, it is just.
Stop harping on the 5
All right,
Champions
look,
League.
Well, why shouldn't
look,
I?
look. We are all
bring Nacho
staunch
up.
here.
We'll bring Nacho
No.
up again.
Nachos, no.
Look, I mean, you'd have thought that seeing as we've already recorded this episode, it would have gone much more peacefully than last time.
I'm a little more scared
If
this time.
anything, it's been much more chaotic and much more aggressive. But we now head over to
Don't.
our producer
Can you
because
guys, like,
you
make
need
it
you need to decide this.
You're the
This
decider.
is not
You
my
s- you
job.
said for-
Amancio, I don't know what you're doing over
Honestly,
there. But
honestly,
This is not
you
my
know
job.
she's not going to pick you.
Well,
she
he's made a
picked me.
much better
Thank
argument
you.
today. I will say he's
Thank
come
you.
with.
But,
I didn't say but.
all right. Well,
Yeah,
then,
I didn't
exactly.
say
so then
but.
pick
Thank you.
Amancio.
Come on, pick Amancio. Pick Amancio.
Why
I
is
just,
this
I
mine?
just
He deserves
simply
to be in
think.
this- he deserves to be in this
Can
team.
you guys make like 15-second closing statements?
Oh God.
Because
Fine. Yeah, okay, I'll
I
go
haven't
first.
got a clue what I'm going with right
I'll
now.
go first. I'll go first.
Okay.
Should
We
we
are
go in order of picks?
okay. Yeah, go on.
So I reckon, in terms of ability, the length he's done it at, I think Gareth Bale is just unrivaled. I think what he's won, the influence he's had, the goals he scored, the importance of those goals, the length of time he's done it at, the achievements he's had at the club with 2 of the best players to ever play for Real Madrid in Benzema and Ronaldo. I think to be one of the most influential players on the pitch in that time for such a long period is unmatched, and I think he's the best ability-wise as well.
And then I would argue that definitely ability-wise, mine has to get in there. As a goal-scoring right winger, he won the Pichichi back-to-back 2 years in a row. Absolutely superb player. Such a tricky winger. One of the first to be like that as well, and sort of embodied what the position now is. These players wouldn't be the players that they were and have been without Amancio. Completely embodies the grandeza of Real Madrid. Won 6 straight La Ligas in a transition period where they're coming out of the greatest team potentially that Real Madrid have ever had. And to then be the leader of that and be the man to take that on, he 100% deserves to be in this team.
Okay, my turn. No, I think my guy has. They keep talking about ability. My guy has the best ability. My guy has the best ability. All of these guys are in the same sphere of ability. They are all top 10 players, top 5 players in the world at times. My guy reached the pinnacle at his peak. He did mount that mountain. Mount that mountain.
Climb, I think is the word.
Climbed that. Well, no, he
Reached the pinnacle,
He
yeah.
reached the pinnacle of football. He won a Ballon d'Or. He has won everything. He has not tarnished his legacy at Real Madrid, and he is simply. I think if you ask the fans, they're going to tell you it's Figo, and if you ask the fans, they're not going to say it's Bale, and they're not going to say it's Amancio.
I think they would say it's Amancio.
I don't think.
We've spoken to fans, and I mean, I will admit that a lot of
Aside
fans
from
say
Marco
Figo.
Lopez,
A lot of fans do say Figo, but a lot do still say Amancio. We have had 1 or 2 that said Amancio.
Yeah, and I don't think I've heard a single Bale,
No, I don't think I've heard a single.
Obviously, you're not going to hear a Bale because
which is an important factor in
the
this
unjust
argument.
treatment.
Those are our closing
he
arguments.
receives from the
So,
media.
Oh, one more thing. Marco's best 4 and 11.
5 Champions Leagues.
Okay, also the 5 Champions League is so ridiculous because so did Nacho.
swearing. Come on, man.
Someone's going to have to edit that.
Exactly.
I'm really overwhelmed right now.
Well, we need a
I'm really
decision.
stressed.
We need a decision before
because
all the cameras run out of storage and everything like that.
Two people are gonna just hate me. And
Well-
I can't. My emotions can't handle that.
Think about the guy in the plane.
Come on.
Think
Come
about
on, give us a summary, and we're big boys. We'll
think
we'll
about
take
the
we'll
last-
take
Yeah,
the
just
decision.
Go with your gut and go with your heart.
Yeah.
Clear eyes. What is
Okay.
it? Full heart, can't lose.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an American football thing.
Ah, nice.
That's not helpful at all. American
Okay,
football is
come
not
on.
helpful at all.
Clear
Come
eyes,
on.
full
Oh, sorry,
heart,
you can
can't
do
lose.
this. We won't hate you.
That feels like a lie.
I wouldn't
Okay.
lie on the pod.
Just go with your gut. Like it's fine.
Okay. Last time the winner that I had chosen was Bale because
Rightly so.
I think it was a recency bias in my mind. I think it was everything that he had done, and despite it being against my own club, I was just always so impressed and in awe of his skills and jealous that we never had him. But I don't think I can go with Bale today. I think the boys have made really good points about how critical legacy and grandeza are that I maybe didn't take into account the last time, that now that I'm hearing I think are important. I don't know if they're the end-all be-all, but I think that they are important.
I'm quite nervous. I genuinely don't think it's cut and dry.
I didn't think it would be you.
I genuinely don't think it's cut and dry. I'm quite nervous now. But
That being said,
drum roll.
you both have made great points, but I think I'm going to have to go with Figo.
all right. Well, that's the podcast, guys. Thanks for
See you
listening.
next week.
Yeah,
I'm
see you
sorry.
Ends my
Cuts.
losing
Yeah.
streak. Ends my losing
Oh.
streak.
Were you on a lose? Oh.
By the way, that
was.
is also the
God.
first time third pick
Has won.
has won.
Wow.
You made some good points, and considering
I
legacy,
think-
considering Grandessa, considering the era that he stepped in.
I think considering Grandessa
I
and then
would've picked
considering
It is Amancio.
no, I think considering
I was this close to Amancio, I will say. It was much better than last time.
considering Grandessa and all the Real Madrid legacy stuff, and then taking into account the player, the titles, the achievements, you put them both together. And
What I will say is that you made that argument that you were like, ability-wise, they are all unbelievable, but I mean, I think Figo is the right pick. Unfortunately,
I could
Why are
have
you so
gone.
mad at me?
because I absolutely love Amancio, and I do actually really think that I don't even know. I'm not sure I'd say that Figo is the right pick, but even
I could have gone harder in the ability section.
Yeah, that everyone was sort of level in terms of like ability, but your legacy thing and in like the Galactico team and stuff like
I was
that.
going to say the era in which he played and the success that he had in that era, I think was a big part of why I picked him.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't for you. but-
Yeah. You lucky people now get to head straight over to find out who our left wing is going to be. I mean, that's going to be.
Surprise!
God knows.
That's gonna
Vinny
be.
Jr. maybe? I don't know.
I'm gonna pick the old guy, and I'm gonna fight hard, and I'm gonna win.
Well, we have to see what the wheel spin is.
Yeah,
I'll
that's true.
pick Brahim Diaz.
That's true. But it is now 4-3-2. In an alternate world, we're level, but we're not
Yeah.
now.
I'm so sorry.
Check out the poll that we are going to put on our
Socials.
Instagram and our socials. You definitely want to fill this poll in because it'll be you guys deciding what our punishment is if we lose. And as things stand, this 6'9" man could be doing
We can
whatever.
get our nails done
Eating
together.
McDonald's
It'll
with
be
big
really
nails.
fun.
Eating McDonald's
In a
with
dress.
big nails in a dress,
On a
like,
stand-up
whilst
comedy
doing stand-up
stage, yeah.
comedy and singing karaoke, all at the same
I'd
time.
sign
At the
up
same
for-
time.
I'd sign up for 3 of those willingly, I think.
Yeah, well, but yeah, go out there, listen, do that.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it, the official Real Madrid, Real Madrid right wing of all time is Luis Figo, according to Football Nostalgia. And
Can
I
you say
think-
that clear? Because you stumbled, and when I cut it for the clip, I need you
Sorry.
to not stumble.
Okay.
Or I could say it, you could do
The best Real Madrid right winger of all time is Luis Figo, according to Football Nostalgia.
There we go.
And yes, well, thank you for listening. And as Noah
Like,
said,
comment,
do all the socials,
subscribe,
like,
all that
comment.
stuff.
I
Please
did-
go watch the recent YouTube videos. Sorry, I know you. Please go watch. You should take us over 100 views.
Yeah.
It means so much to us.
Big
Thank
call
you.
to action.
Big call to
Yeah.
action, please.
Do all the social
really
stuff.
appreciate
Send it
it.
to everyone. Send it to. In fact, in this case, send it more to your nan and your mum and your sister because
Yeah,
we want to get
ladies.
female.
Big clicks.
Ladies.
Aiden.
Aiden.
Big
yeah,
shout out to
big
Aiden.
shout out to
Thank you
Aiden.
for Sarah's cousin.
He
who's
sent
been-
it to his whole 4th
Oh,
grade
yeah.
class.
Oh, yeah.
Aiden. What's up, man? What's going on here?
Thank you very much for watching. Keep listening, watching.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, and thank you for Tom actually sending in a comment from Hong Kong. He said I was robbed of that Modric episode, so there you go, more evidence.
Well,
why
Tom-
Modric should
Alex
be in
is
that
Tom,
team.
most
You were
robbed
wrong.
in the group.
You were wrong.
Yeah. No, thank you for listening.
Wrap it up, boys.
Yeah, join us next week.
He's
where
been
we-
Alex. I've been Casey. That's Noah, I think.
Don't join
And
us next
Sarah.
week. Join us today,
Yeah.
where we will be
Go straight
deciding
over, watch
the
the next
best
episode.
Real Madrid left winger of all time. I've been Alex. He's been Casey. He's been Noah. She's been Sarah. Adios.
Hasta
Ciao.
luego.
Love you.